Every year we like to look at the best places to live in the United States. We look at the states and the cities every single year, and this year we'll be doing best small towns too. In today's video, we're looking at the bigger cities on the United States map. And of course, the rest of the week, I will be reading emails from people that think I'm ruining their city by letting people know they actually exist. I just want to pull these people aside and go, "Sir, you don't live on Fantasy Island or in Brigadoon, you live in Salt Lake City. People know you're there." When we do these videos, we don't judge the place on just one single stat. We usually break down cities by one single stat throughout the year. This one's just a kind of an overall thing. Just information we've picked up throughout the year when we're researching different cities and states. We also like to do this video in advance, like before 2024 gets here, because, people need time to plan. A lot of people don't wake up on a Tuesday, throw a dart at the United States map with the states in different colors and go, bam, looks like we're moving to the most dangerous city in the United States from 2023. Back up, we're leaving Thursday. People normally spend a few months to a year researching and making a decision. Like I said, today we're looking at the best cities to move to in 2024. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is the largest city in North Carolina, and it's home to Bank of America. Charlotte is a major banking center with a whole bunch of different banks headquartered there, including, like I said, Bank of America and Wells Fargo. The city is also a major transportation hub, and it's home to Charlotte Douglas International Airport, which is the 9th busiest airport in the United States. That one fluctuates all the time. They release that information out quarterly, and it might have changed already. So don't watch this video in 2027 and go, "We're the 4th busiest. What's the matter with you?" Do some research. Charlotte has a strong economy and it's been bringing people in. They got a really nice downtown and their median home price isn't terrible. It's about $450,000. Now, median is different from average, like we've said before, and realistically, if you're looking for a house, you're probably going to want to look around $500,000 for something decent. And it works all the way up. So the largest employer in Charlotte is Bank of America. If you've got a finance degree, you probably already know this, but Charlotte's a great place to look for a job if that's what you're doing. Number 9, San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio is the 7th largest city in the United States, and it is home to the Alamo. The city has a strong economy and a vibrant downtown area. I like their downtown. I was there last year, or maybe that was 2021. Anyway, I was there recently. The downtown's got the river walk, and that's pretty nice, even if it doesn't have water flowing through it like the time I went there. But it's really, really nice place to hang out. I had my first Whataburger there. I wasn't impressed. I'd like to get Martha Stewart's take on Whataburger. San Antonio is known as Military City, USA, even though in a survey I did recently, it didn't even make the top 10. There's something flawed in the way I asked that question. Everybody knows San Antonio is where you retire to. They have a strong community for retired military and for active duty military. Matter of fact, USAA, which is the bank for veterans, they're headquartered there, and they're also the #1 employer in San Antonio. This is a piece of advice from your old pal Briggs. If you are a veteran and you don't have a USAA account, I would suggest it. If you're looking to buy a house here, the median home price in San Antonio is about $350,000. Again, that's another number that can fluctuate drastically in the course of a few months, so don't give me grief if it's wrong when you watch this later. Realistically, you want to have around $400,000 if you're going to buy a decent home. Number 8, Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama is nothing like the rest of Alabama. It's actually a great place to live. Huntsville is home to the United States Space and Rocket Center, and the city has a strong economy, again, with a pretty cool downtown. This is a thriving tech hub with a low cost of living. Those are two things that never go together. They also have amazing parks here and a lot of outdoor recreation. Like any place in the South, you also pick up on the strong sense of community in Huntsville. It's just their thing. It's what they do in the South. Got a lot of problems. Strong communities ain't one of them. My buddy, the Geo Scholar, it's a YouTube channel, he lives out that way. I think he still does. The median home price in Huntsville is about $250,000. So they got a low cost of living, and their homes are pretty affordable. That $250,000 median, normally you'll find that the realistic price is going to be, I don't know, at least 20-30% higher than what the median is. This one's pretty close, maybe an extra 20,000, like 270. You can find decent homes here. Their #1 employer is the United States Space and Rocket Center. Number 7, Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs sits about an hour south of downtown Denver, Colorado. It is home to the United States Air Force Academy. It is also home to the U.S. Army's Fort Carson and the Peterson Space Force Base. That's right out there by the Colorado Springs Airport. Colorado Springs is another city that's got a decent economy and it's got an okay downtown, definitely not a bunch of crime. This is where you move nowadays if you want to live on the front range of Colorado, but you don't want to live in Denver. It's a beautiful city with a decent climate, and there's plenty of things to do outdoors like all of Colorado. I lived here for a brief time in the 1990s. It was decent. I've been back a few times since then, but yeah, a lot of people really like Colorado Springs. They have decent stats overall when it comes to crime, cost of living, things like that. Even though home prices are climbing, it's still affordable. The median home price in Colorado Springs is about $450,000. Realistically, you're going to want to have about $500,000 to find a decent home. The number one employer here is the United States Air Force Academy. Number 6, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Fayetteville is a city in northwest Arkansas, and it's known for being home to the University of Arkansas, which is a major research university. This part of Arkansas, like I've said in many videos, is totally different from the rest of Arkansas. This is a good place to live. Great schools, safe community. When I say safe, I mean compared to the rest of Arkansas, like Pine Bluff and Little Rock. This area, even though it's growing, it's getting popular, and it's really doing some right things, they have a pretty low cost of living and their home prices are really low. And when I say really low, I mean compared to decent places to live. Sure, you can move to the Mississippi backwoods and buy a house for $40,000, but do you really want that house? I brought this up, Fayetteville, Arkansas, in a previous video, and I got an email from some clown complaining that I didn't mention that Fort Bragg was in Fayetteville, which Fort Bragg is in Fayetteville. It's just too bad it's in Fayetteville, North Carolina. This is what baffled me about that whole email. I explained that to him. No, that's actually Fayetteville, North Carolina. And he doubled down. He said I didn't know what I was talking about and I should quit making videos because I have no idea where things are. I just said Google it, and then he blocked me. But if you want to buy a home in Fayetteville, Arkansas, you're looking at about $250,000 is the median. Realistically, that's pretty close to what you could get a house for. Probably $270,000, $275,000, and they go up. It's becoming popular, so home prices will be climbing, I would say in the next 3 years, but like every place, they're kind of stagnant or they're dropping a little bit. Number 5, Austin, Texas. Austin is the capital of Texas, and it's home to the University of Texas at Austin. I don't know how many people I've had to correct when they think Austin is the capital. For some reason, everyone thinks Dallas is. I don't know where they're getting that info. But Austin has a strong economy and a very diverse population. They've got a great climate, plenty of outdoor activities, and a vibrant art and culture scene. I don't normally use the word vibrant, but it fits. Definitely friendly and welcoming residents too in Austin. I've always had a good time there and met nothing but wonderful people. The median home price in Austin is about $550,000. It's a little more expensive than other ones on this list, but it is a very popular place to move to. And it's going to continue to be popular for probably the next handful of years. Their cost of living is a little bit over the national average, but again, people want to move there, so it's going to be a little more expensive. The number one employer in Austin is the University of Texas at Austin. Number 4, Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. Raleigh and Durham are cities in North Carolina, and they're really part of this triangle. It's Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill. But most people just focus on the Raleigh-Durham part. Raleigh and Durham are two of the fastest growing cities in the country, and they're home to several major universities, including Duke University and North Carolina State University. These cities have a real strong focus on education and research, and they're home to several major research parks. The old days we called them research campuses. Now they're parks. This is a great place to live if you got some medical problems. They have some of the best healthcare in the country in this part of North Carolina. North Carolina's got a lot of good cities that are growing and a lot of people are heading to. Raleigh-Durham, Charlotte, Asheville. Nobody moves to Fayetteville, North Carolina unless they have to. But in Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina, the median home price is about $350,000. That's what they say. I don't think that's very accurate, but that's what a few different real estate websites say. I think it's closer to $450,000, but this place is kind of worth it. And when you look at some of the other coastal states, that's not a lot of money for a house, a decent one at least. The number one employer here is Duke University and North Carolina State University, about the same. Number 3, Sarasota, Florida. Sarasota is not just for retirees anymore. It's a beautiful city with a warm climate, white sand beaches, and a relaxed lifestyle. The city is also home to several art museums, theaters, and cultural attractions. They also got some pretty good universities in the area, including New College of Florida. This is an interesting name for a college. New College of Florida is a public liberal arts college in Sarasota, Florida. It was founded in 1960 as a private institution known simply as New College. It spent several years merged with the University of South Florida, and in 2001 it became an autonomous college. For a coastal town, this is not a very expensive place to live. Their cost of living is only like 2% above the national average. That's not bad at all. Now, their home prices are reasonable. They say the median home price here is $500,000. Right now, I'm on Zillow looking at it, and you've got a bunch that are $475,000, $474,000, $495,000, $215,000 for an older home. Now, of course, they have some that are $2.6 million and on up. But if you want a really nice house here, $550,000 should get it for you. A nice older home is probably around $400,000. Number 2, Madison, Wisconsin. Madison is one of those cities I always recommend to people. Low crime, decent cost of living, home prices are reasonable, and overall, a really beautiful city. They say the median home price here is $400,000. You could find plenty around $300,000 easily. They've got quite a few right now that look decent, smaller, maybe a little bit older, but they look decent. But a majority of the really nice ones are right around $500,000. That's not terribly bad. And the number 1 employer for Madison, Wisconsin is the University of Wisconsin-Madison. All right, before we get to number 1, if you're thinking about moving to any city on this list or any place in the United States, there's a link for Home and Money down below. They can get you in touch with a real estate agent wherever you're thinking about moving to in the United States. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Fort Collins, Colorado. Look at that. Colorado shows up twice on this list. Fort Collins is a city in northern Colorado that is home to Colorado State University. The city has a strong economy and another one that has a vibrant downtown area. It's really nice. Like Colorado Springs, it's about an hour from downtown Denver, but this one's to the north, not too far from the Wyoming border. I read a really interesting article, I think last year, about how they want to put like a bullet train that goes from Fort Collins all the way down to Pueblo, which it's a straight line from Fort Collins to Denver to Colorado Springs to Pueblo. I think that would be a really nice addition to the whole Front Range thing. The median home price in Fort Collins, they say, is about $475,000, which is pretty close. Livable older homes right now go for about $365,000 to about $425,000. Nicer ones that are ready to move in, probably don't need any work, are right around $500,000. So they're pretty close to what their median is here. Their number 1 employer is Colorado State University. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.